Alright, this is John Hanson back again to talk about NXT power programming and the utilities that are available that are described in this book that are part of the BRICS Command Center. Also available on Mac OS and Linux platforms. We started off talking about how to install the compiler and use it on Linux. We're going to keep talking about that in this video as well. Alright, so we've installed our compilers, we've got the source code, we've successfully built the compiler. Now let's see if we can build one of my command line tools that a lot of people use. NXT tool, next tool. So you can see here the makefile nexttool.mak. Right, this will work with both 64-bit and 32-bit. Let's see. Important thing is that it's referring to the FPC as the compiler as opposed to PPC x64, and that it has this CAN download. It's critical in order for BRIC communication to work. I have had to make a few minor changes recently to the source code for everything to work right, but looks like this makefile is configured exactly like it needs to be. So we will try and make that tool, NEXT-F, NEXT-tool-MAK, real clean. That will delete anything that's lying around. See if that makes successfully. And aside from a whole bunch of hints, a few warnings maybe, everything compiles successfully. Alright, so we'll try and see if it's working. It runs there. Let's see what file has to say. It says it's an ELF64-bit LSB executable. And let's say that's help. There are many options here, some of which I don't even remember exactly how to work. But I will create some videos that show how to use all the different command line options here. There's several options and then several actions. The actions are what you want it to do, and then the options are modifications to what you want it to do. So, for instance, if you want to run a motor, you might adjust the turn ratio with an option, but the action would be to turn the motor. If you want to read the battery level, you just say -battery. If you want to initialize your nxt.dat file, you just say -init. You can list the bricks with -list bricks. Read what the running program is, tell it to run a program, tell it to play a tone. If you want to play a tone, you almost always use a /duration to tell it how long you want to play the tone. And many other options. And like I said, I will be producing some examples online and some more videos that show how to use these options, a number of which were added relatively recently as I worked with some other developers who are using this command line tool. So let's just see if we can make it work. My NXT is still running. Let's find out what the battery level is. .38 volts. It's using a rechargeable battery pack, so that's pretty full actually for the battery pack. And then let's see what files are on the NXT list. Files. You can give it a *.ric just to list what RIC files. .rxe just to list what executable files. Let's see, get name. We'll return what the name is. It's NXT. You can do multiple things at the same time. Versions is one. They aren't executed in the order that they appear on the command line. The execution order is dependent on the code in the source code. So you can't say battery and then get name. Well, battery will always be executed before versions. Obviously you can see here that it executed the -battery command and then the -versions command and then the -get name command. That's because that's the order that those command line switches are executed or processed in the way the source code is written. I may change that to make it so you can actually force it to be a specific order. But in any case, that works. Let's see. List bricks. This, if you had multiple bricks, either via Bluetooth or via USB, it would list all the bricks it can find. This format is the format you'll find in the NXT.dat file. Here is your alias. This is your, by default, it is your NXT serial number, which you can see on you won't be able to see this very well in the video, but if you go to the, I'll show you in just in just a little bit. But that's how you build the next tool command line utility, and we'll be back in just a second.